seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gunning along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races.
Oh, it's back through Bartes!
1962 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collingwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gunning along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again. Tonight is Premier League prediction show. I've got Tony and Maisie getting to you guys.
Good evening.
Hi, John. Hi, Maisie.
Very nice. So if you like the video, like what you see, you know exactly what to do, then hit the like button. Also, have to hit the subscribe button as well. If you like the super chat, then click on the $sign and give the channel's worth. It's your choice. We don't ask for money. It's your choice. You give what the channel's worth. If you'd like to be a member, then click on the join button as well. Thank you for Steve Dorf as well. Last week gave us that a membership as well. So before we go on to Tony what's got to say, I'll go to his comments quickly, get his hand of the way. Guess who's first? I like coffee.
I like coffee.
Because Macy's there, that's all it is. And he loves you, by the way, Macy. Big up to you as well. And let's do this one as well. First, well done. What a medal, mate. Big up to ENT. Hi to you, Ian. Hope you're okay, my guy. And big up to me, and Blaine Races. Benjo always makes me dance. You know what, mate? Get your dancing shoes on, your boogie shoes on, straighten your stuff there. And Tony, you got something to say, mate?
I have. So today, a friend of ours we're on a group chat, unfortunately, went to buy 2 Brentford tickets off somebody and have been literally scammed. Now, this is absolutely disgusting that people are being scammed by other fans. Now, the thing I want to say to people is, if you're going to buy a match ticket off somebody for the game, you're probably better off doing this in person rather than through Facebook. The guy paid by bank transfer. Now, but when he was paying by bank transfer, he then kept getting asked to pay another amount into the bank as well. And these were going into different, he kept, because apparently the first one bounced back. But after that, he kept asking for more payments. And when he checked it, he twigged when he started saying, well, I need more money for these tickets. Please, anybody who wants to buy match tickets, please be aware of people, because there is people out there who aren't nice people, and all they want to do is scam you out of money. Now, this guy, we don't know how much. He could have scammed not just this one. He could have scammed quite a lot of people. We don't know. But please, people, in the future, just please be careful if somebody's offering tickets for sale, because at the end of the day, we don't know if this lad's a fake or not. But I'm going to share it on screen because I want this guy named and shamed, because I want everybody to know the scumbag that he really is.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is. So the name is Mark John Warner. Now, whether this is a fake, we don't know if it's a fake account or anything.
You'd be able to see by how many friends they've got and a few other things, really.
Okay.
Yeah, I only got it because the guy screenshotted this. But
what's his name? Let me just look at his name. I'll have a look if he's a fake. I'm good at
Mark John Warner. But at the end of the day, we need to stop. We need to try and stop these people from scamming innocent people out of money. It's absolutely disgusting. There is no need for it whatsoever. We're all going through the end of the day, we're all going through a cost of living crisis. We all work our backsides off. We all want to do things. We all want to go to the football and things like that. But when you get scum of the earth like that, scamming people out of money, people's hard-earned money, by the way, not just anybody's money, hard-earned money out the way, and scamming people like that, you're an absolute effing disgrace. And I'm sorry I'm swearing like that, but at the end of the day, people like that really piss me off, because at the end of the day, it's not them that's getting hurt. It's the innocent people who have sent the money over to them and can't get it back. Also, if you have done anything, like if you are buying anything as well, maybe use someone like a PayPal as well. At least then you sort of got protection with your money as well. But you're more better off meeting this actual person, and buying the tickets there and then off them. But please be aware of people like this scamming, because it's absolutely disgusting. And it, you know, and I just think it needs to be brought to some awareness. And as we've got a lot of, you know, we get a lot of viewers on here, I just think it's nice for us to share it with everybody. And also, hopefully, the people on here will actually mention this to other people as well and make them aware, you know. And even when it's on catch up, people can catch up with this and see it as well. But these people need to be stopped. At the end of the day, it's fraud in my eyes. It's fraud, and you know, they shouldn't be doing it. You know, if you've got ticket, I mean, yes, there is some genuine people out there who've got tickets for sale, but some people aren't genuine. You know, I'm a bit skeptical of buying stuff on Facebook. You know, or I have bought tickets before on Facebook. I bought them for a concert, but they were actually genuine tickets, and the person had to go out, but actually left them in an envelope, and we, you know, so there is some genuine people out there, but not everybody is as genuine. So I just want to make people aware. Please be careful what you're doing. If somebody's got tickets for sale, maybe ask them about them. Maybe you want to see photographs, and then say maybe, oh, can I meet you in person? Maybe to buy them off you, to purchase them from you. Because be very careful. Be very, very careful with people on Facebook or any social media, you know, and make sure it's absolutely legit before you even send a penny over to them, because these people are just scum of the earth. I'm sorry. And that's what they are at the end of the day. And I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's very important to start the show with this.
Yeah.
And but please, people, everybody in the chat or whoever watches this on catch up or whatever, please be careful. If something looks it's too good to be true, then it probably is. So please be careful. Keep your money safe. Make sure you ask various questions. And at the end of the day, be safe. Be safe, everybody. Thank you very much.
Tony, well said, man. Well said, honestly, man. And I hope they get that bastard, whoever did that sort of thing, right? Yes, we're in the middle of living cost crisis, we want to call it, right? But at the end of the day, right, I hope this guy gets caught ASAP before he does it to someone else. Simple as that. And if I ever sell a ticket, mark me words, either do it as competition or I sell it on face value. I do not want any extra money. I don't want any more money. I sell it on face value, and that is it. Simple as that. Thanks for that, Tony. He's a Scouser with a background picture.
I was looking at that picture as well because he didn't look like a Newcastle fan. He looked like the stadium looked like a red ground. I was thinking, is it a Brentford ground itself? But yeah, it is disgusting. Definitely disgusting.
It is, mate. It's absolutely shocking. It really, really is. You know what? Hope they get them ASAP or just as someone else sort of thing. Because you know what?
And can I just say, John, I don't know if anybody was I was watching Good Morning Britain this morning. And also, people, please be careful. There is apparently a WhatsApp scam going on at the moment where people are pretending to be a member of your family.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, because they're wanting help with heating and money.
He got it whilst
So-
he was in work, thinking he was his dad, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, I think he said something. No, he pretended he was his son. He was like, "Hi, Dad," and then he was like, "My friend knew it wasn't him, so he played the fool about it. He was just playing the scammer along, and then he goes like that. Oi, what are you asking for more money for? I gave you £100 the other day. You robbing little thing." And it was full on tricking the scammer, and he got to the point where the scammer blocked him.
Oh man, man alive.
But yeah,
man alive.
that's scams. But that scam's going around, so be careful with that as well. If anybody tries to ask you for money, just don't give anybody any money, because as I say, it's probably not legit.
Definitely not. Definitely not. So, guys, you, Tony, just listen to advice. Don't give out any money. If you don't feel comfortable, do not do it. So we've moved on there. I lost the FDJ. Thank you on Bet John. Have a drink on me. I get yours when you're on Macy. Helen Gone Wells, thank you for your kind donation, mate. Really appreciate that. And thank you. And thanks for your kind words. And I appreciate it. Friend of Soft Knob and direct message him. So some that we it on Tommy's watching. Yeah, big up to Maisie. I'm monetized now. Congratulations on your membership and also monetizing as well. So chuff for you. Reporting as well. Yes, absolutely. The pick of football art is different profiles. Davey, hope you're well, by the way, Mason. That's absolutely fantastic. I remember a YouTube video where the police called a scammer posers crossman and apprehended him after getting all his details. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Right, let's go on to the football. Yeah, let's go on to the Premier League prediction. You're back again. And we are going to start with the biggest game of the day. One of the biggest games in the Premier League. We're going to start with you, Tony. Arsenal against Tottenham Hotspur at the Emirates. It's going to be one hell of a game. I think this could be. Whoever wins this game, it's just put a foot on it, mate. It's putting a marker on. What a game.
Oh, well, the North doesn't get much better than a North London derby, does it? So, this is going to be a great game because both teams are in form. Got Harry Kane scoring, Son scoring, Jesus scores, Saliba's on fire as a centre-half scoring at the moment as well. So this is a hard one to predict. It's going to be a meaty derby match as well because, neighbours. So I can see a lot of goals in this game. I can see a fair few goals if I'm honest. Scoreline. I've got a couple of scorelines and I'm not sure which one to go for because I'm quite torn between the two. I don't have to take my safer option or take the really high option that I've got in my mind of a score. And I know people are probably thinking, high score? What's high scores is? So I'm going down the road of, I don't think these two teams will be separated, by the way. I think it will be a draw. And it'll be a high scoring draw. I'm going 3-3. I did have 2-2, but I thought, no, I think I could see 3-3 in this quite easily.
Wow, that'd be some game. That'd be one of the games of the season there. Tony's going for 3 each. And Macy.
I had a similar thinking to Tony. I think it is going to be a draw. I think, though, just like the Man United game for Arsenal, this is another test for Arsenal because they haven't had rivalry competition apart from Manchester United so far. So to have a rival who is also in great form, they've made quite a few signings themselves. Both teams have made signings where they're in a much stronger competition place compared to was last season. I think it's going to be similar to, how the Chelsea Tottenham game went. I think it's going to be quite similar to that. I've gone for a 2-2 draw.
This is going to be some game, because this could be the game of the season. This, actually goes flying in. And I'm going to go with an Arsenal 3-2 win. I really think Arsenal will win this game. I don't think they go 3 up before half time. They're quite capable of doing it, but I'm going 3-2. And I think also get a winner. And it's Jesus Span, by the way. He's got 4 bookings. He got 4 bookings or 5 bookings. He's got 4 bookings.
I think it's 5 bookings if you get a ban.
Exactly. So he's got 4 bookings at the minute. So if he gets booked in this game, he get a ban. So yeah, listen, it'll be a cracking game. This could be game of the season. Big time, big time. 3-2 to Arsenal. And Tony's saying 3 each, 2-2 for Macy as well. And just go through the comments as well. Leicester fan 32, yeah. Can't see it. Can't see it's getting relegated. Simon Mitchell's quit. When people are asking for money that you don't know, it should automatically release a red flag. It's terrible that these things happen. And to make things matters worse, catching it is extremely tough. Exactly. And read that 2-0 to Coffee. Hope for a draw. Right, I think 3-2 to Tottenham. Going to be a Desmond Decker. You can get it if you really want. Like that song. Hi, John. I saw Bruno and his partner today at the hospital. I work, and he's a tall lad. Wow. Did you get his autograph? Did you get a shirt as well, mate? If you do, I want one as well, by the way. Why did you not get us a shirt? I'll be having words to you guys when I see you next time. Big up, man. Big up. 2-6 Arsenal Tottenham. 2-1 to the Arsenal. And it should be a hell of a game. Let's go on to Liverpool against Brighton. And I'll go with Macy on this one. I better scroll with this on. Sorry.
For me, with Liverpool Brighton, that's going to be another tight one because Brighton's on such good form at the moment. Liverpool isn't on the best of forms, but they've had international break now, so that could give enough time for the team to recoup. And I always say if Liverpool are going to be out of form, it's not going to be long till they get back in form. That's the kind of team that Liverpool are, and knowing it's at Anfield as well. I've gone for a narrow win for Liverpool, 2-1.
Okay.
It'll probably be like, how you against you where they got a last minute win, like at injury time.
Yeah.
Probably one of them again.
Wouldn't surprise us. It wouldn't surprise at all because these officials and that are scared of Jurgen Klopp. It's going to be Klopp time soon. I tell you what, one of these days, someone will lamp him the way he goes to the rep officials as well. Real talk, yeah. I just think he's getting a bit arrogant here. I really do. Did you tell Bruno to subscribe to John's channel, guys? You should. I'll get him on one day. If I do, I'll get Tony and Macy on as well. I'll show you come when you Macy. Just get close to Bruno. There you go. Going Liverpool 1, Brighton 1. Tight game, Liverpool by the goal. Hey, John and panel. Big up to Static Guna fan. Big up to Alan as well. 2-0 to Liverpool. My prediction is late 2-1 to the Arsenal in a big North London derby. Tony, this game, Liverpool Brighton, is without Graham Potter, by the way, that is going to be real tough. De Zerbi's first game in charge. I wish him all the best. If anyone don't know about this guy, trust when I say this. This guy is absolutely fantastic. I love the way he plays his football, the brand of football. It's high pressing movement as well, and the high press as well. This guy, give him a chance, Brighton fans, and this guy is going to be an absolute stellar.
Yeah, John, this is a funny game because obviously we've had the break now. Liverpool haven't played for a few weeks now. That's Brighton, so they're both, So yeah, this is going to be. I'm trying to think. Well, I look at this game and which way could this game go? You've got De Zerbi, who is the new manager of Brighton. So could Brighton come with a new manager bounce, maybe? Life after Potter. He's obviously had time. He's trained with the players. Obviously, Klopp might not know his tactics as such, how he's going to set up. Because, yeah, you might see how he's set up for, I think he was at Sassuolo, was he, John? If I'm right.
It's Sassuolo, and he really kept Benevento up. And he kept them up from an impossible position. And then he left there. And then he went to Sassuolo. And 3 seasons there. And the football under Sassuolo is absolutely fantastic. Great to watch. See lots of goals. But, my God, the Sassuolo fans loves him.
Yeah. So I'm going on a new manager bounce here, John, because I can see an upset here, and people, you know, a lot of people are putting like Liverpool 2-1 in that, and obviously we know when it gets to added on time, it's not what's on the board. It's not the 3 or 5 minutes. What they should do is they should rewrite them boards, and what they should do is hold a board up saying, when Liverpool score the winner, we call time, because that's exactly what it is. Because Liverpool get that so much. Klopp gets what Fergie used to get, Fergie time. He gets Klopp time, or when Liverpool score time. But I'm going to go down I'm going to go down a shock win here for Brighton, because I'm going to go on the new manager bounce. And when a team's got a new manager, sometimes they just boom, fire straight away. So he might have them playing a different style to which Liverpool aren't used to. I'm going to see a 2-1 Brighton on this one.
Do you know what? Brighton's doing some great teams last season. They beat Arsenal away, Spurs away. We beat them at home. They have caused a lot of upsets along the way. They beat United as well. Sorry, Macy, but
it's true.
It is
they beat us twice in the trot, so
I'm going to go 1-0 to Brighton here. I'm going to go for a punt and go 1-0 to Brighton. I really, really do. They want to impress De Zerbi. And another thing is, right, his defence will be wide open as well. That's another thing, and I think they'll get it right. I'll go 1-0 to Brighton. That's going to be a shock to a lot of people, but we'll see what happens. Maisie, what's your thoughts on Maguire?
Everyone knows I've never liked the guy. I haven't. I think he's crap. I don't think he's good enough. I think he suits a team that play a 3 at the back, but I don't think he suits the back 4. He's very sloppy. He's inconsistent. He blames everyone else but himself. He thinks he's Mr. Perfect. I just want the guy out of the club. But the difference is, compared to me and other Manchester United fans, I won't troll and abuse him. I'll just keep my opinions to myself on social media, because I don't think it's right to troll people, because just as people preached in the past men's mental health, so I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and say when I support for people to get awareness of mental health, just by trolling other players to affect their mental health. So I'd say it's hypocrisy. You look at this is going away from football, but look at Caroline Flack, for instance. So many people abused her because of the incident, and she killed herself because of it. People are saying the media is disgusting for doing this, even though it was human beings who was doing this, like me and you, not like us personally, but like people like me and you who were doing it, who was giving her abuse and who's giving her hate, and that's why I always say, don't practice what you preach. I don't like the guy. I'll keep it to myself. I'm not going to go about on social media and slag the guy off. I don't think he's good enough for the club. He's not captain material, but I won't give him stick or hate on social media.
Well said. Well said. The thing is, right, absolutely right. It's not. Listen, if you're gonna say something, yeah, just say your opinion on him, but don't go overboard. Don't go his family. Don't send personal abuse at the guy.
I don't exactly really like his family in terms of he called one of our fan bases a cunt.
Really?
His brother did.
That is not great.
Because we gave criticism to Harry Maguire, that's what he called our fan base. And I don't think that is right in terms of what he's done. But I also don't think what the fan base is doing is right either. I think his family should keep their opinions to themselves, because they're making a deeper hole. Like, they're liking stuff like Maguire and saying well done for defending, for sticking up for the trolls, even though he went like that in the England when he put his fingers in his ears when England won. But under the same breath is that I think our fan base has gone beyond too far.
Well said, Macy. Well said. That's the way it goes, Just keep up into ourselves. I mean, the last time someone told us to F off, what I said an opinion, it was the last, it was 17-year-olds, right? And I put her straight. I actually put her straight. You know what? She apologized to us the next day. She apologized to us next on the DM, and it's all forgotten. And then still, she's fine. I think I spelled the name wrong. That's in Gaz.
Okay.
Hello, chaps. Yes, that's for Matchman Randy Chippers. Could that be our Chippers? Oops, so you never know. Right to take a beating here. New manager arrived, and the majority of players are in at national duty, so it's difficult to work on a solid game plan. That's from Foxy. We're heading off for tea. Enjoy your tea, guys, and come back on the chat soon, my guy. I reckon Brighton will need to settle under a new manager. This is a Premier League after all. Even if we are well, I'm fine. Craig, hope you're fine too. 2-1 to Liverpool. Pope didn't look like in civilized. We're going to talk about him later on, by the way. Get through this first. We're going to talk about Nick Pope later on. And Macy, I will give you the utmost respect about what you said about Maguire.
Thank you.
And this is a guy who doesn't like United, by the way, but he's got respect for you as well.
Thank you.
So Macy, Maguire needs protecting, which means not playing him in high-profit national games when, one, not good enough, and more importantly, two, not match fit. Southgate needs to rise up and get Tomoe in that team.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan of Tomoe, by the way. It's not because I love Serie A. It's because I watch this guy.
I like Tomori as well. He's an outstanding player.
Champion.
I wonder though, I'm not obviously defending Southgate, but is he looking, do you like how he broke Jude Bellingham into the squad, into making him a starter? Is this something what he's looking at doing with Tomori perhaps?
I hope he does. I hope Tomori gets picked for the World Cup. I really, really do. It could be right, Messi. It could be right. Bellingham would be playing. I like Bellingham. I think that guy is absolutely a talent, top talent. You know what I mean? If he's going to leave, I think he will not come back to the Premier. I think he'll go to Madrid. I really do. His brother plays at Chesterfield. That's talking about how his brother, and to be fair, he's worse. I will criticise players constructively. Maguire doesn't scan. He's not aware of his surroundings. He's constant ball watching. Exactly. You got to say how it is, but don't send personal abuse. But on the pitch, I say how it is. And if they don't like my opinion, tough. You know what I mean? I always call it out. I'll call them out. I will say how it is. Terrible footballer does not equal terrible person, even if it's a bit of a. I'm not going to say the rest of it on me. Sure, I want Liverpool to win. Wallace is standing behind us. Behave yourself, Sefton, mate. Good evening to you, Simonas. Hope you're okay, mate. Good afternoon, ladies and gents. That's Robert. Big up to you. Big respect for Macy. Rachel's getting big respect every single time she's on me. Sure. Let's go on to the next one. I said one of the Brian, did I? So you go on to the next one. Tony Bear technicals on the way, mate. Fulham against Newcastle. And I'm hearing that Bruno could be fit for Saturday. ASM could be on the subs bench. Cameron could be starting. Yeah, Isak could be out for 3 or 4 weeks. So take it away, Tony.
Yeah, John. Been a bit of a wretched time with injuries with international players. Bruno being kept out. Thankfully, it sounds like it's not too serious with him, so he could be a starter on Saturday. Isak out for a few weeks. He could at least miss the next 3 games. That would be Fulham, Brentford, and possibly Man United away. So that's a bit of a blow. Wilson being back's a good boost as well, and ESM being back's a boost as well. So we need them in. Wood's out now because he's got a cracked rib. He said he felt something pop. So if that's a cracked rib, you're looking at about 6 weeks minimum. So he ain't going to be around the squad. So if I was Eddie Howe, I would be promoting 1 or 2 strikers from the under 23s. I would be bringing maybe Isaac Westendorf and Dylan Stevenson into the bench, because we're short of forwards now. So we're going to need these guys. Dylan Stevenson's ripped it up in the under 23s. He's been fantastic in the under 23s. Westendorf hasn't done too bad either. I know they're only young lads, I think 18, 19, whatever they are. But, the only way you're going to get experience is by playing. And what's to say these one or the two of them don't come into the bench and then come on and have a, one of them has a cameo. It's going to be a difficult game because Fulham are a good side. They've proved it this season. Marco Silva's actually surpassed the expectations I certainly had of him because, he normally gets sacked. But for some reason, maybe he's found the right club. Maybe he's at the right club, Fulham. Maybe it's been the perfect fit for him. Fulham's going to come out and attack, so they're going to leave spaces so we can attack them spaces. Now, on Saturday, Eddie Howe, and I'm not criticising Eddie Howe for 1 minute, so, but I said this in the last show, John.
Say it how it is, mate. Say it how it is.
I'll say it how it is. He's got to drop Dan Burn and play Botman in his place because Botman should never have been dropped for that Bournemouth game. Never. He's been the consistent defender since he's come in. He's a good ball playing centre half. He plays some terrific balls out. Yes, he's had a couple of instances where he's been a bit shaky or, he's made a couple of errors, but they haven't led to any goals. That's the most important thing. So Botman needs to play, definitely. And 100%. You've got to keep it at Botman and Shaw. Do not change it, Eddie. Do not change it. Keep the same back four because, against Bournemouth, Botman may have stopped, probably more than likely would have stopped Billing from scoring that goal. So he needs to play Botman. Get him back in the team. And then let's see how we do on Saturday. Hopefully Nick Pope is fine on Saturday because if I'm honest, John, he hasn't been very good in the two international games. He didn't really play particularly well on Friday. I don't know if that was because he wasn't sure of the defence that was in front of him, and he's not used to. He's used to having a tight defence in front of him, and having the likes of Maguire and Kyle Walker and Eric Dyer in front of him. Maybe just through his confidence. Last night, yeah, okay, he maybe should have held on to that ball, and they wouldn't have got that equaliser, Germany. Obviously, we'll come into that more later in the show, but
definitely.
I just hope that doesn't dent his confidence for the weekend as well. But no, definitely, it's going to be a difficult game, but we must play Botman at the back. I know it was nice to bring Dan Burn in, but I'm sorry, if you've got a settled back four, you keep that settled back four. You never change it. The only time you change it is if that back four start leaking goals game after game after game, or injuries or red cards or whatever. But keep the same back four. This is going to be a difficult game, John. And do you know what I'm going to say, John? If we play well, we've got to make an improvement from when we played Bournemouth. Because if we don't improve from Bournemouth game, Fulham will beat us, and I'm not disputing that. They will beat us, John, hands down. But I think we'll be different side this time. I think we'll be more up for it now. We should be up for every game anyway. Now, these are the type of games we should be winning. No disrespect to Fulham's, Bournemouth's, etc. I'm going to say, if we're on form and we're playing well on Saturday, I think we'll win this 2-1.
Yeah, that's a good shout there, Tony. Good shout and fair assessment, by the way. And also you got to look at Pelino as well. Pelino Macy, that guy is absolutely a stellar. He will not be at Fulham next season. We'll talk. He'll get a top club in the Premier League next season.
Would you believe as well? Fulham only bought him for 10 mil. Only 10 mil they bought this guy for. Like, I'm actually surprised how not many people snatched him up because he is outstanding. He got knocked out the round of 16 in the Champions League, third highest tackles in the Champions League. Yeah. He's already one of the highest tackles already, and interceptions, I believe, in the top 5 leagues in Europe. He's in the top 5 already in 5 leagues. So that really shows the levels that he is playing right now. He is absolutely brilliant. He's already scored 2 goals as well. That one, what was it? Game up for one of the goals of the months as well. I think it was against Palace. When he's one of them kind of players where he will thunderbolt it when he's got that space. It's absolutely outstanding. I love the guy. I love him. And Sporting made a bad mistake getting rid of him, but he was there for 10 years. He was one of Sporting soldiers, as you like to say, but he wanted the change. And he even said I prefer the Premier League over League of Portugal because I can make tackles and I can get away with it. That's what he said. That's what he said. That shows he just loves to defend. I think though Fulham played brilliantly. Michael Silva has took a lot of people by surprise, me included. He's been great so far. Fulham would be absolutely mental to get rid of him. Honestly, absolutely mental. But based off both, I think at the moment, like, there's only been one loss between them both. One loss each. Both Newcastle and Fulham on great form, and I think both are going to be equally as up for it. Mitrovic on fire. He got a hat-trick as well during internationals. Yeah. I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
I'm with you, mate. So I'll go for 1-1 draw. But Botman's got to come in, right? And he's got to come in. Power Man Didi's come on and said about they regret not signing Botman, by the way, right? And I've been sacked from the recruitment policy. Well, there you go. And even Tony is smiling, by the way. And, so I'm doing what I do best. And I was going to say as well, but yeah, go on, Tony.
But next time, John, you certainly won't be saying, he's going to sign for AC Milan, or this player's going to sign for this. You're going to next time, John's going to put a gag on his mouth and go, "I'm saying nothing because it'll cost him a lot of money next time."
I mean, I'd still think they're furious. They are still furious. Well, they didn't get Botman. Absolutely furious. And I'm amazed the recruitment side didn't lose their job over it as well.
I love the fact, John,
they're competing.
We're at the top table for players,
yeah,
and we can beat people like AC Milan to players as well. That's the big turning point, John.
Yeah,
I think what helped us was, one, their takeover didn't go through, so that was dragging on.
Yeah.
And we managed to nip in and get Botman. But I think Botman has also said he always wanted to come to Newcastle, so maybe it was never on with AC Milan. Maybe that was just AC Milan just trying to stoke the fire up, because we know what the Italians are like, John.
They are. They don't stop. They get them in. They get the players they want, and they go and get it. But it just wasn't to be. We got there first. Happy days. Yes. I say 1 each. I think it's going to be a good game, but Botman's got to start, and we've got to start scoring goals. Callum Wilson come back at a perfect time. We've got to lie on him now. That's why we just get injured again. Another
Chris
thing
Wood
that
out, sorry, as well.
Who's that? Isaac. No,
he's
out.
Chris Wood.
Oh, Chris was out as well. I think he's got a thigh injury or something. Is it a thigh? He's got
fractured ribs.
Yes, he said that.
Cracked ribs, because
it's Chris Wood who's got cracked ribs. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He went into the advertising gardens or something and cracked his ribs.
Ooh, that's not good. I wish it was speedy recovery, man. That is not good at all. Not good at all. But wish Chris a speedy recovery. I don't wish him the bad luck on him, but if he was fit, I'll sure he'd be playing. Another thing that annoyed me at a Coffee House fan base, critical, sure, not calling him Shubuta Galas again. Like it. 1 each. If you get struck on the pitch, will we mid-row have a stinker, or is that Kempton, Providence? That's an Allen T. Big up to Rico, Leicester fan. No, Everton fan, sorry. Everton fan. Gareth the season, tried to transfer. Even Fox said, get him in. Shubuta Galas. Wow. Hope they don't park the bus. Fulham, that is.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will. Oh, they're getting a real goal. We have to start winning games, or in a month or so we could be near the relegation zone. Is it time to worry? 3 points a must. Got a feeling we'll win. 3-0. Andy, I love your confidence, my guy, but I tell you something, it will not be 3-0. But if we do, then well done to you. Well done to you. Massimo Bo, I'll tell you, we'll talk about him in a bit. And I totally agree with you on that one, Tony. That's the Sefton. Pick up the crew. Pick up to Ravi. Ravi! He's a great lad, mate. Sissy, Ravi, you like him, do you?
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Newcastle go to Europeans position. All Black be good. Newcastle transfer. Yeah, All Black to Newcastle. I tell you what, if we get Champions League, we should be over this guy. He might fancy a chance to the Premier League. Who knows? As long as Liverpool win against Brighton, that will make my weekend. One siege against Fulham, no draw, yes, but it's away from home. Against a team in form, we'll always have too many key players missing. Well, Bruno and Callum will be back very, very soon. Roberto Carlos sure has SMB levels.
I hate that nickname.
You
Just hate it.
You hate it, don't you?
Loads of United fans were saying it last night and tweeting the picture of Shaw on Roberto Carlos's body because a couple of seasons ago when Luke Shaw was the best left back in the league that season, we all called him Roberto Carlos as his nickname.
Yeah.
And they're calling it again now because he played well against England. Against Germany, and that's absolutely pathetic. It's pathetic. Yeah, you've been poor at Manchester United for the last 2 seasons. Manchester United fans forget it, even though we've been relegated, and calls the guy Roberto Carlos.
Crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy.
If Maguire put on I'm not a Maguire fan. You already know it, but if Maguire put on a good performance, he would still get criticised for it. He had a good performance in that Europa League game, that one against Real Sociedad where we lost 1-0. And he was still criticised, saying, Maguire's lost every game he's played in, even though it wasn't his fault. But because Shaw has a good game, even though they forget about all the seasons where he's been bad and say, yay, Roberto Carlos is back.
Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy, man. It's the thing is, right, people need to turn in around their necks in. Real talk, do you know what I mean? Because Maguire has been poor. Shaw has been poor. He hardly been played at the game as well, which is an absolute disgrace. I'm sorry, but you know what it is, right? I mean, if Gareth Southgate picks him, right, and he doesn't pick Tomori, and he doesn't pick Smalling as well, but I don't think he'll pick Chris Smalling now.
No, he'll pick him again now.
Nah. Even though he's been playing fantastic at Roma, I think Gareth Southgate needs to broaden his horizons. At the minute, he's not. He's so stuck in a time warp, you know what I mean? We'll come to him in a bit. Don't worry about that. If Newcastle play like they did against City, then he should win. From Ansi, that's in Simonas. Big up to you. Fulham 2, Newcastle 2. I would take Paulino at Liverpool. You might get a chance next season, mate.
No, just don't go there. Don't get Paulino.
Don't go there.
Don't take my favourite player off me. Just do not do that.
No. Listen to me, see. She's the boss. Play quest on what big Dana Vilnius FK. That's Lithuanian side. Video what a Barca and in China. To be fair, or did you mean Paulino for Fulham?
He means the Sporting Paulino, not the Paulino Barcelona and the Tottenham Paulino.
Fair enough. Paulino started his career. Don't HS Vilnius Club. I didn't know that. And Romanovas, talking about the club as well, that Lithuanian club as well. Get the likes up and sub to John Macy's channel. Thank you, Ravi. Thanks so much indeed. I think it's going to be a tight 202. We need to watch Mitt Rowe, the dangerous man. That's a win. Yes, we do. Mace agreed. It's cringe. Botman would have went to Milan if they had a takeover in place at the time. John was just unlucky with that prediction. And that's cost us £100, by the way, as well. But no regrets. There's only one.
The food bank were like, John, show me the money.
Show us the dollar notes. Or give the dollar notes to Macy. I'll give the dollar notes to Macy. You like money, don't you, Macy?
Yeah, I do.
We all love money, John.
We do. Of course we do.
Especially the person that won the 171 million euros jackpot. I bet they've got no more worries for the rest of their lives now.
Yes, I totally agree. Absolutely amazing. Big up to them, by the way, and well done winning the lottery. Your millions. I'm actually sure but the Carlos got on range about a curve goal in the World Cup against France. That ain't gonna happen. Sean Maguire and the new Choco Bros. That's a rather
Maguire and Lindelof.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, police should play at Anfield under the lights. And I don't even watch England anymore. Southgate ball turns this off. Exactly. Let's go swiftly on. I said once each tonight. Switch on Southampton, Everton. Tony.
Southampton, Everton. Well, this will be an interesting game.
Yeah.
Southampton's played well this season at times, and well, Everton surprised me, if I'm honest. I had Lampard as first manager sacked, and we're nearly into October, and he's still there. So he's obviously doing something right. Yes, they beat West Ham in the last game. It's at St Mary's. Everton don't play well away from home because they're not in front of their Gladys Street end. I think this will be a good game. It'll be a hard game, but I expect Southampton will come out on top on this game. The reasons being, you've got James Ward-Prowse, who hasn't played for England so they'll be happy with that their player's back safely. Why he didn't play for England is beyond me, because he would have been great on them free kicks for England. So I don't know what Southgate's thinking was there, but like we'll see, we'll come to him later. I'm going to say Southampton to win this one 2-0.
Okay. Macy, your score.
I think this is going to be a tough one to predict because Southampton's been a bit of a hit and miss. I do rate their new signing, Bella Kotchap. Aribo hasn't really stepped up for me. Everton are just crap. They're having to rely on an emergency goalkeeper now. Baby me. What a shame. My heart bleeds for Everton. But you don't know. They can switch it up, but Southampton are great at home. I think it's always hard to go to Southampton's grounds and to get a win. For that reason, I've gone for a very narrow win for Southampton, 1-0 win.
Yeah, good call. I think I'm going to go Southampton on this one. 2-1 it'll be. I think Everton make it tough. I think the midfield look good. Onana looks a quality midfielder, Danny. That guy is absolutely brilliant. And for me, I'm going to go 2-1 to Southampton that game. So let's go on to the others' predictions as well. Let's have this one. Choco Brothers, one of has to be brown bread to live up with that name. Wow. Maguire did not have a good performance in the Europa League. The defense collapsed under off over Maguire if he must. Hope Varane and Martinez never gets injured.
I'm talking about obviously that Real Sociedad one. If you look at that, it would have been 0-0 if it wasn't for that penalty, and I think it was a very hard penalty to be given away. I'm not saying he had a terrific performance, but I do also think when he didn't have a bad performance, you can't be critical of him either, because it wasn't his fault why we lost. I blame our forward players more than I blame our defensive players, because there was a lot of chances we should have put away, but we didn't. I'm specifically looking at the Real Sociedad, not the Sharif one.
Yeah, fair enough there. I totally agree. But I didn't see the Man U Sociedad game, so I didn't watch that game. So, I mean,
my eyes were bleeding, let's just say.
Wasn't good. Wasn't great. Hi, Macy, Richie, Saints 1 Siege, Wayne sent him with the Saints. From the Anvil, Jim said, Kieran right back his class, my lot. He did well there against England, so that's the way forward for West Ham. Shane the dopey ginger get Moyes can't do it. Wow. And we go Davy Moyes. We come on to West Ham later on. Let's go on to the next game, which will be, did I said 2-1? That's a 2-1 Southampton, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, yeah.
I did. 2-1. We're going to go to another London derby. It's going to be Palace against Chelsea. I think that'll be a good game, this.
Yes, John,
Tony.
It will be. Graham Potter's first Premier League game for Chelsea in charge. Because remember, the only other game he managed was in the Champions League. So this is his first Premier League game against the Palace side, who, yeah, they're a hard-working team, and they do have some good players on their side. Chelsea's got a lot of talented players on their team. Graham Potter needs to hit the ground running, really, for Chelsea. Now, Selhurst Park can be a bit of a sticky ground to go to. It's one of those grounds, you know. We've not really had a lot of success at Selhurst Park, so you've got to be on your A game going to Selhurst Park. I think there'll be lots of chances between both teams. Obviously, Chelsea's going to have more possession than Crystal Palace will have. I can't see Chelsea losing this game, if I'm honest. I'm going to say 3-1 Chelsea.
Wow. Okie dokie. Maguire would be a great centre back for a team like Saints, Everton, Leeds, Brighton, etc. Just not elite level defender. Too much pressure on this guy. Mikalenko and Patterson are class full-backs. Everton are lucky to have them. I like coffee 4-0 to Chelsea. The manager bounce. 3-1 to Chelsea from win. Palace 3, Chelsea 1. And Maisie, what are you going for? Palace and against Chelsea? Big London derby.
It is. This Chelsea side, even though they're strengthened, I think it's pretty poor. The players they've signed, I look at them and think they can someone who can adapt to Graham Potter, but he's had what, one game, and that was a Champions League game. Then it went to international break. So I think it is tough when you've got that. You haven't had that time to really adapt your team, and I always say that it does take around 12 weeks, I'd say, for a team to fully adapt to someone's tactics. Crystal Palace under Patrick Vieira is great. I think it's a bit of hit and miss right now, though. There has been times where they've been caught out, but there's some times where they play brilliant football. But I think Patrick Vieira, Chelsea's his rival. He's an ex-Chelsea captain. So he's got to look at that and think, I want to win this game. Do you get what I mean? He's going to have that fierce and anger in him. I've gone for a 2-0 win for Crystal Palace. I think they'll cause an upset, especially knowing it's at their ground.
Wow. Brilliant stuff. Good call, Macy. 2-0 to the Palace there. I'll give my prediction in a minute. Just got Fabrizio Romano, right? 25-1. He sent out a tweet saying that Newcastle are monitoring Brazil top talent Andre Santos since a long time, but there's still no agreement in place with Vasco da Gama. Now it's done as things stands. Newcastle open the race with many clubs in for Andre Santos, midfielder born in 2004. And he signed a 5-year contract earlier on, and he's got a release clause of 45 million quid for the 18-year-old youngster. So 45 million quid, that would be for another time. So for me, Palace and Chelsea, I'm gonna go a draw in this game. I'm gonna go once each in this game. Once each, Palace 1, Chelsea 1. So that'd be very interesting. I still think he's poor. The system doesn't fit in. When you have to play 3 at back, it's obvious. Hope he gets sorted.
Yeah, I agree. I think he is poor, but I'm just specifically talking about that Europa League game. But as a player, I do think he's poor. I was specifically talking about one specific game where people were still criticising him, saying it's his fault we lost when it wasn't his fault. And what I mean is when a player isn't at fault for losing, you can't still go about and blame that player, no matter how crap they are. Because I agree, I don't think he suits Man United. I don't think he suits the system. I don't think he suits Ten Hag. But I couldn't blame him for that Europa League loss against Real Sociedad.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of him, as I've clearly stated tonight.
Fair enough. Mason's not a fan, and we've got to respect her for it. Done Palace, Chelsea. We're going to go on to Bournemouth, Brentford. I'll start with you, Macy, this time. I think that'd be a good little game, this one.
It will be a good game. Bournemouth, they have caused a little bit of upsets. They caused an upset at the start of the season. They caused an upset against Forest as well. They got a draw against Newcastle. So they could be on a potential high. But what I do see with Bournemouth, every time there seems to be a break, they don't seem to do as well when they come back from it. Brentford has got a great team. I'm sure, even though we'd love to see Ivan Toney play, it's better as a if you was a Brentford fan to say, right, this guy's going to stay fully fit now for Bournemouth. He's a great goal scoring machine. Brentford have been terrific so far this season. Based off that, I can't see nothing but a Brentford win, and I've gone for a 2-0 win for Brentford.
Good call. And Tony?
Yeah, Bournemouth, Brentford. Bournemouth, yeah, they're a Parky Bus team. Obviously, Gary O'Neill's going to do everything he can so he can try and secure this job. But I think they're going through a bit of a takeover at the moment. So obviously there's going to be no decision on a new manager at the present time until obviously that takeover is fully complete. And then the new owners will decide who they need or who they want in charge of the club. Vitality Stadium's one of those stadiums, you know, it's a fun round to go to. Brentford, Ivan Toney's been on fire. You know, they've got plenty good flair players in that team, good creative players as well. David Raya's been on top performing goal for them as well. I can see a Brentford winning this, John, you know. What will I say for a scoreline? Will I say a 6-0? No, I'm only joking, John.
Yay! Be nice.
I'm gonna say 3-1 Brentford.
I'm gonna go draw on this game. I'm gonna go 2 each in this game. I think it's gonna be a close run thing, but I'm gonna say 2 each. I think Tony will score. That's a player I'd love to get back in Newcastle, man. Get this guy back at Newcastle. I think he'd be Harry. I respect that opinion. That's the news chatting to Helen Gonzo, yeah. So and yeah, I'm gonna go. What did I say? Did I 2-2? Did I say 2-2? I did, didn't I? I said 2. Yeah, you're right. 2 each. No, I'm forgetting things, am I? Not good. Not good.
It's not John, no.
And I'm hosting the flipping show. Come on, wake up, my guy. Brentford's just an overrun club. That's from James. Bournemouth 1, Brentford 2. Each. Bournemouth 1, Brentford 2. And why can we not be Bournemouth? It's just beyond this as well. Now I'm gonna let this one take us away, Macy. I'm gonna let you take it away. This one. It's a big Manchester derby at the Etihad. You got a cracking record there anyway. So Man City, Man United, go for it.
I used to like to use the stat. Dan James has won more Manchester derbies at the Etihad than Pep Guardiola. That was my stat until last season, and I like that stat, but I'm not going to use it anymore. Even though Man United's been on good form, we still play a game less than Man City. Man City's brilliant right now. As much as I don't like to say, I think we're going to lose this game just because of how well Manchester City are playing right now. And I think if they're able to get in the right spaces, if they're able to narrow out and Marcus Rashford, Antony, and Sancho, they'll have an extremely good chance. They've got the best fullback for me in the league. They've got apparently the new Borussia Dortmund centre back will be starting alongside Diaz. I don't know too much about him, so that's fair enough. But yeah, I've gone for a Man City win. Anyway, I've gone for a 3-1 win for City, and that's using my mind. If I'd gone for my heart, I'd go for a draw, but I just can't see anything past a City win.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair comment. And what's the score did you say, Macy?
3-1.
3-1. And thank you, Tony.
Yeah, that he had. So, as Macy says, Man U haven't got a bad record at the Etihad Stadium. But Man City are playing really well this season, and as you know, and especially that number 9 they call Erling Haaland as well. Not only is he banging the goals in, but he's also doing my fantasy football a bloody world of good. I tell you, that's why I'm top of the table in most leagues. And he's my captain, so he's getting me tons of points. It's not going to be like your North London derby where I think it's going to be a draw. I think there's only one winner in this for me, John, and it's no disrespect to Man United, but I think Man City will win this game because Haaland's on fire. But then you've got the likes of Gundogan, Phil Foden, you know. So it's going to be a strange one. But what do I say for the score? Because you know, I'm just trying to think how many goals will be scored in this game, and that's the thing. Do you know what? This is the one that's got me stumped the most because, again, I'm in two minds of two different score lines. Yeah, you know, I think Man U will score a goal. I definitely do think they'll score a goal. Whether it's the first goal that puts them ahead, or whether they score in between a City or they equalise, or they score in between City going 2-0 up. I'm saying 3-1 to Man City on this one. 3-1. And I mean, not only have they got, like I say, they've got the likes of Foden, Gundogan, Haaland, but you've also got Bernardo Silva as well, who's a terrific player. You know, they've got lots of
De Bruyne.
And then they've even got Alvarez, who can come off the bench and score as well.
Exactly.
So yeah.
The frightening thing is that their bench could easily be in the top 3 of the league. That's how frightening it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I totally agree, man.
But I'm going 3-1, John. I was going to go about 4-0, but I'm going 3-1 actually.
Fair enough. I'm going to go 3-1 to City in that game because I'm sorry, Macy, but I'm going to be. I hope I'm wrong, but I hope you win. But
I think the same. I think we'll lose. It's just one of them. The way, even though we're winning, is it brilliant football? I don't think it is. I don't think it's. Even though everyone loves a win, and I always say a win's a win, but you need to be very, very smart when you play against Manchester City. You need to have the passion. I'm not saying the players don't have the passion, but I think a couple of them lack IQ for me.
Exactly. I totally agree. And some of these players haven't played in the derby as well. They need to understand what it means. That's the most important thing. It's huge. I think United need to stop any link to Haaland first. If they do, they're going to get slapped. So, Macy, got to go City 3-1. I would keep the believe Martinez Ferran will do great. Ericsson has been on fire, and I hope Anthony will come good. Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope you guess the deal.
I thought you'd like that one, John.
I know. I think Maisie will love it as well. But
to be honest, if it was Battle of the Bold, Ten Hag's winning. Let's just be real. He's the best looking ball manager in Manchester.
There you go. Exactly. Go 3-1. I keep the believe Martin. I read that, didn't I? Sorry. I think Man U have a good season, but we get Hammond versus City. 2-1 to City. If Hammond scores first, then the City win, game over. The battle of the board, that's in Helen Wills. I heard Man U want to again. Is that right, Macy? What a Sunday's been for you lot, and you got on a dirt cheap.
Yeah, it is true. When Ralph moved up to consultancy, he wanted him at Manchester United, but Ten Hag didn't want him because Ten Hag said he didn't suit his style of play, didn't suit his regime. So that's why they didn't go for him, just because even Ralph wanted him, not Ten Hag.
Fair enough. Well, it's going to be tough. I mean, he's going to be a cracking play. If you get him in the summer, that'd be amazing. Go get him. And Man United take a 2-0 lead, but City come up with 2 seats from Foxy. But it's a derby. Anything can happen. That's a Ravi. Haaland's out of this world. I tell you what, that guy is absolutely. He's just absolutely blue chip. He's an absolute blue chip, this guy. Haaland's out of this world, but we got a caution, makes you run for miles. If you don't put blood and sweat in it, as Helen Wills again. I thought the team would lose, but really we could have won. Sorry, but Leicester need to hold on and get Thomas Franklin, Rodgers clinging on for extra cash. What does it mean? They don't watch Liverpool, and also no shame United loses to City. That's in Ravi as well.
It's more shame for Liverpool to lose against United, eh?
That's true. Fact in time. Haaland, bit of Rich Tandy, interesting game. I'll tell you what, boxing gloves on that one as well, by the way. Let's go on to, we've got 2 more games to go to. We've briefly talked about England as well. And it's going to be Leeds versus Villa, and that'll be at Ellen Road. I think both teams were looking for 3 points, yeah. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, home advantage is telling me I think Leeds will win this one. I think they're going to win by 2-1. And what do you think, Macy?
I agree. I've gone for a 2-0 win as well for Leeds. Aston Villa are crap. They're absolutely awful. And this is the thing, right? Them players that they have got, they should be in the top half of the table. If you looked at each individual player, they should be in the top half of the table. They've got outstanding players there in that squad. That makes me question on coaching, and it makes me question on management, if you want me to be honest. And I think maybe going from, no disrespect to the Scottish League, jumping from the SPL to fighting mid-table to the Premier League. I think he should have gone to the Championship after the SPL and then moved from there. Just because the SPL and the Premier League is so different in terms of the way it's played, and it's so much more competitiveness. So I think Steven Gerrard is really struggling, and I still don't think he actually knows what his best team is. And that's quite a bit of a concern for me, knowing he's been there since November. He should know what team is best for him and what minerals to make it that little bit stronger. And I just don't think Steven Gerrard knows that. I don't like Jesse Marsh, but he's doing all right. So fair play to him. I'm not going to rate him any more than I have to. So 2-0 for Leeds.
Then I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to say 2-0 to Leeds, not 2-1. 2-0 to Leeds. Tommy?
Yes, John. It's going to be... It's at with it being at Ellen Road. Villa haven't been great this season, if I'm honest, John. I mean, Leeds took Chelsea apart, remember, at Ellen Road as well.
They sure did.
No, Mendy made an error or two in that game as well. Jack Harrison's been on fire this season on the left-hand side. Sinistera looks a terrific player as well, by the way. They've started off a lot better than I actually thought, and I had them on my tip at the start of the season in the predictions to go down. And do you know what? The way they're playing, I can't see them dropping. If anybody's going to drop out the league, it could be Villa, which I hope they do, because I absolutely can't stand Villa. Like we all can't, John, Newcastle fans, after what they did to us in 2009. 10 season when we went down. Well, 2008-9 season when we went down. When they put up them banners like Sob on the Tyne and all that, and where's your Ant Deck and all this. So yeah, I can see Leeds winning this game, and winning this game comfortably in my eyes. I can't see where Villa's going to turn this around and win it. I'm going for a Leeds 3-0 win.
Yeah, good shout. Hopefully get relegated, to be fair. I really do, because remember they beat us 1-0, sent us relegated. We come back under the Premier League, we hit 6 first game of the season. Remember that?
Second game of the season, John. Yeah, because it was the first home game. Yeah, and that was we went down through Damien Duff's own goal. Yeah,
absolutely. But the rest is history, man. We came back up, and I'll tell you what, Villa needs to be careful, because they're going to lose Douglas Luiz as well on a 3 in the end of the season. And I've got Foxy again. Leeds lost key players, but strengthened squad. Why so much? No longer having to depend on Bamford. Exactly.
I don't know if I told you, but I actually met Douglas Luiz. I met him when I went and watched last season Manchester United women's game versus Aston Villa women. Douglas Luiz's girlfriend plays for Villa ladies. And after the game, I seen them both come out. I'm like, get out the way, Alicia. This is my man now, Douglas Luiz. And I went straight over to him. I was like, can I have a picture with you? And he had his arm like behind me, had a picture with me. I was like, what a beautiful picture that is of me and Douglas Louise. And ever since then, I thought, I can have a chance.
Wow, what's this? Hey! What's this English like? Is it perfect?
It sounds all right, to be honest. There was nothing too wrong with it.
No, I tell you, he is a good player. He gets booked a lot, though, don't he? That's the thing. But he sounds a great guy. He sounds a great guy. Former Man City as well, by the way. And we moved to Villa. Bless him. Got one more. I tell you what, though. I hope you see him again, by the way.
I'm going actually to the Villa ladies again on Saturday. So if I see him again, I'm having another picture. So do you remember
me? Yeah, Macy's on the pitch, yeah. Macy's Oh man, beautiful, man. Make sure he might ask you to marry him as well. You never know.
Well,
who knows? I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, try. Bless. And we got another one, the last one of the game. It's going to be a crack one. I mean, I'll start with you, Mace, because Toy's going to be long on this one. But Macy, Leicester, Forest, what a game! A Sakiko game. A Sako. Is it how do you pronounce it?
El Sakio.
Sakio.
That's it. El Sakio. That will be some game. I'd love to do a watch along for this game, you know. I really would. Macy, this is the game.
This green screen's excitement. But right, do you like if you see these pictures, Instagram versus reality? Instagram is like, wow, what a game this is gonna be. Reality, crap. That's what I think the reality is gonna be. Crap. I really do. I'm gonna go for a 0-0 draw. Boring as hell game. And you know what? Why the hell did they put it on? Is it Monday Night Football? It's on now.
Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football. Not gonna waste my breath. I'm literally right. Monday Night Football. I ain't gonna waste my breath watching it. I'm not, because I think it's gonna be a god awful game.
Wow. Do you agree with that, Tony?
I think it's going to be. To be honest with you, I think it'll be a very interesting game because both managers are under pressure. So Brendan Rodgers is under pressure, and so is Steve Cooper, because a lot of Forest fans want him out already.
Great.
So I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be an interesting game. I can see it being. At first, it may be a bit of cat and mouse, you know, for the first 15 minutes. You know, both sides are going to be a bit tentative going forward and not want to really burst forward with pace in case they lose the ball and get outstripped and concede. So I think it'll be very cagey for that first 15, 20-minute period. But then I think the game might actually open up a little bit. But then I think in the second half, it might really explode into something totally more entertaining. Who do I go for on this one? Well, I think Leicester have been really awful. Forest have got to win. Have had one win this season. So I think Forest, and going on the fact, I mean, I know last season it was different. It's the FA Cup. Forest beat them 4-1, but they still put a strong team out last season, Leicester. I can see Forest winning this game away at the Leicester, and I think it'll be 3-1 Forest.
Oh, I tell you what, though, they're gonna lap up Steve Cooper if he wins 3-1. For me personally, a lot of people say it's going to be a boring game, but I'm going to go with Forest as well. To be fair, I did say that Leicester are going to get the first win, but listen, I'm going to go with Forest. I think Forest is going to go there and give it a right go, but they need to change it up. I like this Lewis O'Brien, by the way. I don't know if you guys watched him.
Yeah.
He's absolutely fantastic, this guy. And he has proved a lot in I wouldn't say in a poor side, but in a struggling team. But what happens next season, I think Lewis will be in the Premier League next season, no matter what happens. You know what I mean?
I think he will, John, because I watched that playoff final when Forest played Huddersfield. And he was absolutely terrific on that final for Huddersfield. He was their best player on the pitch.
I like him.
And then when Forest signed him, I sort of thought, okay, let's see how he does in the Premier League. But I think he's been absolutely brilliant since he's come to the Premier League. And if he continues that, it'll be very hard for Forest to keep him next season. He may be on his way to a bigger club, and I wouldn't mind taking him at Newcastle. I tell you, if he continues that form, then maybe he might be a future signing for us. But whoever he goes to, they'll get a terrific player.
I'd take him. I really would take him because I think he's a decent player. I mean, he's going to be brilliant. But
$5 million to pay for him, John.
He'd probably be worth about 30 now, given the ridiculous amount of money that's being spent. You know what I mean? All this transfer as well. They probably ask for about 30-40 million quid off us. You know what I mean? That's what they'll do. But
and talking about players, I don't know if you saw today, but Keith Downey's put a tweet out.
Yeah.
Garang Kuol from Central Coast Mariners in Australia. He came on and played for Australia the other day against New Zealand. Mm-hmm. Apparently, we are getting very close with that deal, and we are just looking into things like his work permit and everything, and then to see if we can loan him out to a European club. So that looks like January, Garang Kuol could become a Newcastle player. Now, if that's the case, John, what a terrific player we're going to have on our hands there. What a talent he is, John.
Yeah. He's quick, and he's quick. And I'll tell you what's going to be exciting.
Quick.
Don't know a lot about him, but we've got to find out what he's all about. People are going to say, oh, he's going to be wonderful. No, I haven't seen him. We don't watch the A-League.
I mean, this season, Johnny's played 9 games.
Yeah.
He hasn't started any of them 9 games, and he's only played 22 minutes per game.
Yeah.
So in that 9 games, he scored 4 goals and 1 assist. So, and I know that's in their A-League, but a totally different league from the Premier League. But
exactly.
if this kid is great, we'll get him in. We back him, John. Simple as.
100%. He's young and he's going to be fantastic. You've got to give him
Project
time.
Youth.
Yeah, Project Youth. Rodgers out of Leicester lose this surely. Guaranteed goal scorers. We can come to it now. I think Leicester City will want the same sort of revenge on Forest as they knocked out of the FA Cup last season. Indeed, guaranteed goal scorers. Leicester's first, Macy.
This is going to be a different one to what people are expecting, but I've gone for my guaranteed goal scorer to be Zaha. I think Zaha always puts on a good performance against Chelsea. He's going to want to switch up, knowing the importance of the game. And I think his pace is going to hurt the back three of Chelsea as much as you love Koulibaly, John. I'm not a fan of him. I'm not. And Zaha's going to put him on his bum.
Massively. What do you think, Tony? Before you go on, what do you think of Koulibaly?
Do you know what, John? I've been quite disappointed with him in the Premier League. I know when our takeover when we were trying to get the takeover through, rumours were flying around that if the takeover went through before that summer, that Koulibaly was one of our top targets to come into the club. But I've watched him for Chelsea, John, and to be fair, he hasn't set the world alight. He got sent off against Leeds.
Yeah,
he just looked absolutely poor. And I just thought, you know what? Yeah, okay, Italian football, and as you know, John, you're more experienced on the Italian scene than I am, but Italian football is totally different to Premier League football. Yeah. You may have more time in Italy, but you ain't in the Premier League. And I just don't think he's really cut it yet in the Premier League. He may go on to be good, but at the minute, I would say I'm glad we haven't signed him.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you give marks out of 10, give us a marks out of 10 for Koulibaly. Marks out of 10 so far.
0.
6 out of 10.
6? And you give him a 0?
Yeah. He's genuinely not been good enough. He was absolutely exploited in the first Champions League game. I can't remember what team it was against now. Whatever team it was. He was shocking against Leeds. I actually can't recall a good game of Koulibaly, and I just don't think him and Thiago Silva complement each other.
Yeah, that's very true. And another thing is, Koulibaly kind of playing the centre back three. He needs to be in the back four. He has to be in the back four. I don't think he can do it in the back three. I really don't.
Whereas I think with Thiago, he suits a back three. you could get another season of Thiago Silva in a back three. And if I was Chelsea, if you was going to weigh the options, Koulibaly or Thiago Silva, I'd rather have the Rolls-Royce Thiago Silva any day.
The game you're thinking of, Macy,
Zagreb, is it?
Is Dinamo Zagreb.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I couldn't think of the name when I first said it, but he was absolutely exploited with Fafana. It was funny. It was funny.
Do you think Napoli missed him though? Do you think Napoli missed him?
No, they did better without him.
I mean, I tell you, they got that line called Kim Lee as well. From Fenerbahce, that guy. I tell you something, he is going to be something special.
And they
signed, I really do.
Sorry to go off topic a little bit. They've signed is it a Japanese Korean player, Napoli, a centre back?
Is it South Korean?
Is he South Korean?
He looks like Korean. I'm sure he's South
Korean.
He's
called Kim. Oh, what's he called? No, I actually can't remember his name. But
I know it. Kim Lee.
He's already linked to Manchester United to come in January.
Really?
Yeah, and Napoli's only just signed him.
Yeah, they signed him for what, 18 million quid to play Koulibaly.
Yeah, and United's already linked with him because Ten Hag wants him.
I tell you what, though, that'll be very, very early. Kim Min Jae.
Yeah, that one.
Jae. I tell you what, he's going to be special, that guy. I'm a massive fan of him. Massive fan already, because Napoli's top of the league, and the display he's been doing this season has been absolutely fantastic. And there's a player, before I go on to these comments as well, the guarantee from myself as well, there's another player I love as well in Napoli as well. Quickly going off topic, it's Kvaratskhelia, the Georgian lad. I tell you what, I'll take him next season. That guy is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And let's go through the comments as well. I think Leicester wants on the tour bench. I read that Koulibaly made his move too late in his career. He would have been great 4 or 5 years ago, already close to 32, playing with other centre-backs older than him. Not a great match. And Beltas that kids with his kid. Thiago is still fantastic. I've always liked him. Ruined his career being a PSG for me. And Kim Min Jae, I tell you what, 6'3" of him as well. Some of the strikers from Austria, like Juric and McLaren and Nabakahu, he should be like all of those in the future. Koulibaly scored a great goal against Spurs early season, but since then he's gone off the ball considerably. And it's a shame because that guy is absolutely brilliant. He really is, but not this season, I'm afraid. Quickly about England, before we wrap up. Tony, what's your take on England yesterday? 3s each.
First of all, my guaranteed goal scorer this weekend is
Erling
Haaland. My captain in my fantasy team, Erling Haaland's got to be. I've got to back him. Sorry. England yesterday. Well, the 3-3 draw. We went 2 down. I thought the penalty Maguire caused, I thought was a bit soft, if I'm honest. I thought Muslera made a lot of that. This kid seems to want to, he could have played for England and he chose Germany, and he seems to be, every time he plays against England, he just wants to, be centre of attention. So I thought when they went 2-0 up, I thought, oh, here we go. This is it now. The floodgates are going to open and Germany's going to go on a run, And then he makes a couple of substitutions. Saka and Mount come on. Now, I don't think Mount's been that great recently for club and country. And then, Saka came on. Luke Shaw got that goal, considering he hasn't played for Man United this season. But he got that goal, and I thought, okay, 2-1. I thought, well, it's game on now because 2-1, And then Saka and Mount, and then that goal Mount scored. I mean, don't take it away from Mount. That was a terrific goal by any standards. That was a brilliant goal to get it to 2s each. And then the penalty, I've heard some people saying it's a soft penalty, but I don't think it was. I think it was a right call. The only thing I will question is, why did Schlotterbeck not get a red card? Because surely with them studs on the shins, that should have been a red card and not a yellow card. So I don't know what the understanding with that one was. And then Harry Kane, I mean, well, we know he can put a terrific penalty away. Absolutely brilliant penalty. Didn't matter how much Ter Stegen wanted to dance on that line and try and put Harry Kane off. There was only one winner there, and that was Kane. And people are questioning now, well, he only scores penalties, Kane, he doesn't really do a lot. But I think he's being strangled by Southgate because he's not playing the way he would play for Spurs. And then the other end, Gnabry, I think it was, has a shot from outside the area. Pope spilt it. He should have held that, really, John. Yeah, poor goalkeeping from Pope, and I'm not going to hide behind that. That was poor goalkeeping. And then Havertz was there to get the rebound and pop it into the back of the net and make it 3-3. Now, my opinion of the game is, at the end of the day, yes, it was a great game, a great result, that we got a 3-3 draw out of it. Mm-hmm. But I'm sorry, it only papers over the cracks of what we've seen throughout this Nations League. Now, some people are questioning, why we're worrying about the Nations League? It's a crap tournament and everything. But wait a minute, it's not a crap tournament because there's points at stake here. Yeah. There's rankings at stake here. So not only have we been relegated, but it means when we go to qualifying for like the Euro 24, it's going to be that little bit tougher. We're not going to get them easy groups now where we just go in there and we walk all them games. We rolled people over like San Marino, like 10-0 and things like that. These are going to be different groups. We're going to have the likes of probably the Germanys, the France, or anybody like that in the group. So there is a good thing behind it. But it just papers over the cracks of what's happened. If we can play that good yesterday, then why the hell haven't we done that all the way through the Nations League then? Why have we been so poor? And I'll tell you the reason why. One person's to blame for that, Gareth Southgate. And I'm sorry, he needs to go, and he needs to go now. And I don't care what people say about the World Cup being 8 weeks away. I couldn't care less how far the World Cup's away. I couldn't care if it was in the next 3 weeks. Southgate has to go now. There is plenty of time to get another manager in and get them ready for the World Cup. He cannot take us to that World Cup. He is a poor man's manager. He's a disgrace to England, a disgrace to the FA, and the FA need to pull their pants up and have the balls to turn around to him and say, right, Southgate, thank you very much. You've took us as far as you can. There's the door. Thank you very much. There's your payoff. Off you go and get another manager in. I'm sorry. Southgate has to go. He's fucking useless, John.
Yes, and he goes so I get MAISY'S point. So I can't wait to see.
I didn't watch the game, honestly, John. So there's no way to get my opinion on it.
Fair enough.
I was too angry with the other game.
What's your opinions, John?
My opinion is paper over the cracks. I thought, let's not get it twisted, right? I mean, this is a poor German team, right? This is not a German team that was playing with Lothar Matthäus, Jurgen Klinsmann, Andres Bremer, Franz Beckenbauer, Pierre Tabaski as well. There's not teams little that as well, Didi Hamann as well. This is a poor German team. Let's be real, and I'm not going to lie yet. But England was just as poor as well. My only thing is, why have we not played like this? Where was that energy in the first half? Why are we so cautious? Why are we just playing with the handbrakes on? Why are we not expressing ourselves to Noah, right? But this England team, Maisy, back us up on this one, please. England will not win the World Cup with this manager, with this team, because we are going to get found out in the later rounds. Because at the end of the day, right, we got good players there, but it's one guy is stopping us from expressing ourselves, and that's Southgate. The sooner we get him out after the World Cup and get someone else in, the better.
Here's a question, though. What current available managers could win England the World Cup? That's an honest question, because there isn't any brilliant available managers right now who could win the World Cup for us. And I just genuinely don't think that. I think Southgate does play negative football, but I think some of the players are just simply not good enough and shouldn't be in the squad either. Some of them just don't play like they care. They play like
manager.
What manager?
Bielsa.
I don't know. I don't know about Bielsa, to be honest.
He could do it if there was one guy, because he plays attacking football, and okay, not great for defensive wise, but attacking football, I could see England destroying quite a few teams under Bielsa, and that's what we need to see. We need to see attacking football. I'm sick of seeing defensive football, and as I highlighted yesterday, John, when we done the preview, when I showed you a few different squads of Southgate's, there was at least 8 defenders in that squad. One of the squads, I think the World Cup, had 10 defenders in there. What is he thinking?
Yeah, he did. I agree.
And he's come out today and he said today he wants people to stop slating him for backing Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw. He said, I don't care what people think, how many games I've played for their clubs this year. He says, they've been on form, so I'm picking players on form. And I thought, well, hang on a minute.
Ooh.
Players who are on form and playing for their clubs should be in that team. Not Luke Shaw, not Harry Maguire. Although I will say Luke Shaw took his goal okay last night, But other than that, I'm sorry, Southgate, you've lost the plot. Get out and go.
What I always think is I don't like saying publicly if a manager should be in or out. I'm one of them. Like, I'll just keep it until it happens. But in my personal, if you look at it in terms of players for club and country, they should always prioritise club. If they know they're not in form for club football, they should decline playing for country. To say, I haven't been good enough here for club. I should be wanting to put on a better performance here. I want to prove to my manager, who pays my wages, that I am good enough to play in that team. I just think the problem is that with this England squad especially, there's too many informed players, and play for your country, it should be an achievement. It should be an achievement to say, well done for playing good for club. Here's your ticket now to play for country. But that was the same even last year with Harry Kane and Raheem Sterling. None of them two played very well and still got to the Euros, and they played well for the Euros. But I just think it should all be based off if you're good for club, and if you're not playing good for club and you get a call up, you should decline. I know players probably will decline it, but you should say, I want to perform better for country. Like, I look at Rashford last season, he should have declined going to the Euros because he should have concentrated getting fully 2 years ago, so he could concentrate fully on being a Manchester United player again.
Yeah, absolutely. I like Marcus Rashford. I think he's how he did well this season. I think, in my opinion, do you know what I mean? Under Ten Hag, I think he's been brilliant. And I agree with you there. We're going to read his comments quickly, going to wrap up. Talking about Kavashila, Napoli got him for a cheap price to left Russian club due to the war and signed for local club Georgian team. Batumi, Napoli paid 8 million quid. You're correct. Port made an error. Yesterday, first was alert to reach the rebound first before defender comes in. Craig said, I can't see Diego Costa this week in England was better when Saka came on. England better when Saka came on, and Kilman should have been in the England squad. He's been on form. Probably looked nervous yesterday. We know that, mate. Hopefully, he takes the game for an experience, but on become the keeper, take our club forward. Aaron, preach it, Tony. When Germany went in or up, I turned the game off. That's from Aaron. England needs to attack football, needs to sack him. Don't want capitals again, Wayne, mate. I'm sorry, mate. So please, I read it this time. Don't do it again. Well, it's not going to be how I get it. Kane's a bit poor yesterday, too, especially in the first half. Really bad passes during the counter attacks. Posh is a bad shout for England. If Southgate leaves, that's a good shout. And
I hate Posh.
You're not a Posh fan, are you? You said.
No.
But John and Tony be on the fan forum. We're going to think about it, because Pete wants us on this channel at 8 o'clock tomorrow with Chippers to have the England debate as well. I could push that back till Thursday. We should see. So we discussed on Thursday. And the last one for that evening, playing for country should be an honour for MAISY'S.
Exactly.
Right. So we're going to wrap up. Go on, sorry, Tony. I'll bring this up as well before we wrap up.
Yeah. So this is what Southgate had to say. Yeah. We've got to back our best and most experienced players, unless we're in a situation where it's almost untenable and impossible to pick them. He's talking about Maguire and Shaw. What a muppet.
He is, isn't he? Absolutely is. And don't forget, let's not get us twisted, right? We had a brilliant 12 minutes of that game. That's it. That is it.
Yeah,
3
exactly.
goals in 10 minutes or 12 minutes, where that sort of thing. That is it. Yeah. So don't get us twisted, people. Do you know what I mean? Right, we're going to wrap up there, guys. And before we let it go, I mean, I know it's a bit long as well. We'll start with Tony first. Give us a shout out, man, and where can you find you?
Yeah, so you can find me down there, Tony31.
Yeah.
On Twitter, give me a follow and I'll follow you back. And also check out the website Northwest Mags, www.northwestmags.com. Don't know if Macy's had a look, but if she hasn't, she can have a look as well. Come on there, like-minded fans on there. Yeah, there's a forum on there where you can join in with the discussion. If you click on team, you'll see my photo will pop up on there, along with all the podcasts as well. Our channels on here and other channels as well. So have a good look at it. And if you got any pictures with your shirts on anyway, your Newcastle shirts on, email them into Sefton and he'll stick them in the gallery, I'm sure. But go and check it out. It's a great website. It's been up and running for nearly 3 weeks now. And well done to Sefton. And you probably know Sefton well because he's in the chat quite often as well.
Absolutely. Great website. Check it out as well, people. We're going to continue to do that to new people as well. And he's a great guy as well. Thank you, Tony. And Macy, where can you find you on your socials, please? You give it a plug in.
My YouTube's Devils United. I've recently got monetized on there. So thank you everyone for supporting the channel. It really means a lot. Yeah, my YouTube channel's Devils United. Manchester United content, do the odd sporting content on there as well. I'm hoping to probably do another sporting content again, maybe this week or in 2 weeks' time when a game gets played. It's just very hard watching Portuguese football in the UK because there's nowhere where ever shows it. So yeah, YouTube Devils United, but Twitter's at 2_, MUFC Mays.
Brilliant. So check out the channel, Devils United. Absolutely amazing. Up and coming talent as well. And if you'd like to become a member as well, please be a member on Macy's channel as well. You don't have to be a United fan, but it helps the channel improve a lot. And super chat as well. I
just want to say as well, for next month on my channel, I am doing the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So last year I raised around £80 for breast cancer now, and I will be doing the same for this month onto the channel in October. So instead of I've already put a page where you can donate, but any super chats that do get made in October will go directly to breast cancer now.
Fantastic. I'll do that as well, Mason. Don't worry about that as well. So I'll donate you as well. And I should do that as well. I'll probably do that on Thursday in your chat as well. No problems at all. And guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you were backstage. And if you like the video or like what you see, give it a like. Also hit the subscribe button as well. Tell your friends all about it as well. If you like the super chat, click on the dollar sign as well. Thank you for having Wheels as well, United fan, for the donation as well. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to become a member, then click on the join button, 99p as well. And Anna Coffee send a really nice one as well. Don't forget to subscribe. We need to get John 4K before October. And you know what? I'm going to do my utmost best to do it. I'm going to do little blogs as well while I'm in Turkey, when I'm in the markets as well, with you updates as well. And I'm also going to do little bits as well. Tony's going to come and be sure as well while I'm aware, and doing all my stuff as well. And Mace can join at any time as well. Why can't you read capitals, John? Anyway, so that's absolutely fine. It's like shouting, mate. So the only one who could do that is Julian, and if he decides to come on as well, but he's also on Paul's channel as well. But no, that's absolutely fine. We're no worries about it, mate. But at least I read your comments as well. But thanks for joining anyway. We're going to debate. We're going to do the fans forum either tomorrow or Thursday. It looks going to be on Thursday night because I could be on Paradox's channel as well for the England debate show, which I'm quite happy to do and put it back to a Thursday. So thanks so much for joining. And whatever you decide to do, enjoy your evening as well. Thank you, Wayne, as well. And well done to me as well. And until then, guys, and whatever you decide to do, have a fantastic evening. And we're the lads. And it's goodbye for now. And
Goodbye.
to Macy, Chris Oakley United, but just with respect, I waited too.